Hey gang, Will here from the Ashland Fly Shop with your regional fishing report for the first part of August. And it is warm. It's a warm one out there for sure. We've got real high temps, not too uncommon for this time of year, except for this last week. We've definitely had some warm water. So really nice time to be standing in a river or hanging by a lake. So let's look at what we got. Rogue River and Upper Rogue is just starting to fish pretty well for steelhead, so we're just starting to really talk about that. A lot of the real faithful, the real local faithful around here have definitely been at it for about a month now. We're finding them here and there, and definitely getting blanked a bit too. But we've had some nice fish show up. I think we've got about 600 or 500 fish to the hatchery, so that reflects a pretty good population already in the Upper River. But you know, it's definitely not gangbusters out there for sure, but it's a nice start. And so we've been out looking for them here and there, and that's really what's happening in the Upper Rogue. Flows are 2,500 out of the dam, 2,800 at Dodge, so we've got good water conditions. I think that's why we haven't quite seen like a hoot owl closure or something like that lower down, as we've got good water in the river throughout the system. So even poking around lower down in the Grants Pass area or below in that Merlin area, you know, early morning, evenings, really going to be the time to do that in the cooler conditions. Same in the Upper River, you know, your early mornings, your late evenings are going to be the time to look around for steelhead now, but probably not real high expectations, but there are some very nice fish out there now. The Holy Water stretch, which we talk about, the trout fishing stretch on the upper section there below the dam, that is pretty quiet right now. People can go up there and swing streamers and buggers and stuff, but you're not going to find much of a hatch up there at this time. It's probably going to be pretty quiet, maybe some midging in the late evenings, but really mostly a streamer game up there right now. Northern California trout fishing, as you know, a place we really like to spend time this time of year. This is really the peak of the dog days down there. So again, probably don't want to expect much from the trout fishing down there. I think the McCloud is still going to be your brightest spot with, you know, lots of shade down there, lots of nice trees and shade and stuff. That's a good place to be, cooler conditions, but you know, you're not going to find a lot of hatches, and you know, I think the bug activity just gets really compressed. A lot of really small dark flies, things like that are what we like to use at this time of year on McCloud or the Upper Sacramento or the Pit or Hat or any of that stuff. You're going to want, it's really stealthy tactics, really technical fishing at this time of year to find a fish. I was down there about a week and a half ago, and it was very quiet fishing for me on the Upper Sacramento, but I'll always go down there at this time of year. It's a wonderful place to go and fish a nice beat and, you know, wet wade, and it's really cool, and pack a lunch, and it's a really wonderful place to be. So always a good bet, and always a fun option for this time of year. Another few weeks and we'll start getting into cooler nights, and I think that fishing will switch a little bit and start to pick up. Klamath region, this is really kind of go time. This is when the Klamath Lake starts to heat up pretty good, and the fish start to really evacuate into the spring creeks and stuff. So Wood River, I'm sure they're seeing numbers of red bands move in there from the lake, and I know that Williamson has seen a good migration of fish throughout, and the fishing's been picking up over there. So this is a very good time to fish the Williamson River and the Wood River, and we've been getting some good reports from a couple of our guys that fish over there pretty regularly. So that's a very good place to be. It's a tricky place to fish, not a lot of walk-in. That's kind of something that, you know, we missed around here a little bit on all of our rivers, but not a ton of walk-in on the Williamson. But there's a few spots. If you want to give us a call, we can help you with that, or we're happy to talk to you about putting a guide trip together or something like that. So yeah, that's what's happening over there. The North Umpqua, you know, by the time we get reports down here, it's really changed character. You know, you're going to go anyway, right? You're going to the north. You're going to go up there, and it's probably going to be pretty darn close to what you expect it's going to be. Haven't heard anything stellar or crazy numbers of fish pouring in, but you know, there's always fish. There's always fish up there to be had, And you know, one thing I have definitely heard this year is that it's quite busy. And you know, not saying that to put people off, but just expect traffic. I think the news from the you know, Columbia Basin and those tribs is definitely settling in with steelheaders, and you know, there's definitely going to be people peeling off and looking for other places to go. And I think the north is at the top of people's lists. So I would expect some, you know, traffic, expect some company up there, you know, as well as on the Rogue and other steelhead rivers as well. So keep that in mind. But it is a wonderful, beautiful place, and all of us that fish up there and love it, you know, let's do our part to keep it that way for sure. So that's what we know what's happening up there. So that's what we know. It's a great time to get into some higher elevation, maybe some small stream fishing. Happy to talk to you about any of that. Man, it's been really warm down here. We're breaking a few records for heat. So yeah, good time to be standing in a river. And give us a call if we can help you at all, give you any up-to-date information about what's going on. We appreciate you tuning in.